Yo, what's going on, everybody? The Boxing Source checking in, and I have a great guest with me here, a great friend, a great brother, and a great contributor to the sport of boxing. He's been on a few times with us. Glad to have him on once again. It's our guy from Sampson Boxing, Mr. Sampson Lewkowicz. What's going on?
Thank you for the opportunity to be with you one more time.
Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. I know that you've been very busy over the past few months. I know that you've been, working with a lot of your fighters, starting off with Sebastian Fundora and David Benavidez. And you have another fighter here coming up with a fight this weekend with Gabriela Fundora. So first, could you talk about, Gabriela Fundora being in action on Saturday night?
Well, this time, like couple hours ago, it was the weigh-in, and very surprised that it was under the weight. It's supposed to be 112. It was 109, which is mean to make a message to the 108 fighters. It can go either 159, it can go to 108 or 112 like it's now. She's a great boxer. Besides that, the charisma, it will touch the heart of all the fans. Trust me.
Yeah. So it's going to be something to see her in that card there. That's what part of the Golden Boy card there in Las Vegas. So we're going to see her in action there. And of course, she's undefeated and, going up against Daniela Asenio there in that 10-round bout for the IBF flyweight title. So she'll be, I think, defending that flyweight title in this bout.
Well, and BoxRec is, in BoxRec, actually, this number 2, Gabriela Fundora, and Asajo is number 4. So you have the 2 and 4 of the best of the world fighting each other in the zone tomorrow night.
That'll definitely be a great battle there. Of course, part of the fight card that'll have was Virgil Ortiz Jr. there against Sergey Boachuk. So that's going to be a definite and great fight on part of a great card there on Saturday night. And I know that you've had, a couple of your fighters be in action and high-profile fights. March 30th, you had Sebastian Fundora get that win over Tim Tszyu in a gruesome battle, to say the least. There, and we're just seeing here, when he'll be able to be back in the ring. I know that he had to nurse the injuries there, of course, with his nose and other things. So how is his status here currently?
It was very well, and he's ready to fight in October. So hopefully I can make a good negotiation, waiting for the WBO to send a letter, and then negotiate the real worth, how much worth that fight, and hopefully, we can make a deal. If not, it will not be a deal.
Yeah, you'll be able to, move.
I mean, everybody, everybody say that that sometimes, to get to the right number, to the right price, sometimes it's hard, especially when you have a guy like Crawford that he want to take it all. he want to retire very soon. So when you have a pie or you have a nice cake, you need to share. And if you don't want to share the right way, regardless, it'll be no fight. Very simple.
Yeah. No, like you said, with the cake and the pie, man, desserts, man, those are pretty good. That you got to be able to have a good slice of that, cake, like you said. And if you can't get a good slice of that cake, you might as well just walk away.
Listen, I understand that you deserve, a bigger portion.
Mm-hmm.
I have no doubt about it. I will not ask for, half of the cake, but I want a good portion.
Yep.
And beside that, Sebastian eat a lot, so.
Yeah. So a little bitty slice just can't cut it. It just can't cut it with that. So
that's right.
Yeah, we got to see how that works out there as far as like the negotiations go, and then hopefully we'll be able to get some updates on that.
Yeah, maybe it be October.
Yeah.
If you,
Yeah, we'll see. If he'll be able to get right back into it there against Terrence Crawford in October. And know that you have, of course, a great fighter in now the light heavyweight division, as you had the former WBC super middleweight champion David Benavidez, who recently won against Alexander Gvozdyk in June, and had made the decision there to stay in the light heavyweight division. Now, when I got that news, I pretty much said that, what? He kind of like made that decision because it didn't look like there was a good chance that he was going to be fighting Canelo Alvarez next, right? And soon after I pretty much said that, we had that announcement with Canelo Alvarez and Edgar Berlanga. But, I kind of like had that idea, if he's not going to fight Canelo at 168, then there probably wasn't much of a point to like keep that title, that interim title at 168. What were your thoughts about,
You're 99% right. The 1% is that they never will fight Canelo. Canelo will not take the fight. So it was not 100%. It was 99. That it was a good one. Definitely. If the fighter doesn't want, the champion doesn't want to give the opportunity with this mandatory for almost 2 years, there's nothing else we can do. You know what I mean? And it's regardless, it's not too much action when Benavidez left and Morel left. What left we have in that division? So it's not excitement. I know that the next question will be Morel and Benavidez. It will happen, but we need to marinate that fight. And the way to do it is like I did with Plant. Plant, he came to me, Select Plant, he told me, I want to fight Benavidez. You have only 11 fights. I tell him, hey, take it easy. Don't worry about it. You will now, what do you get? $100,000 to $200,000? You'll be getting much more than that. So, I like Plant. I like everybody, but Plant is one of my favorites too. And I tell him, wait, we'll marinate, and then you will have your shot. And you have the double shot. You have a Canelo, and then you have Benavidez. So, I believe that I have the most respect for the fighters, because the people doesn't know, the fans that doesn't know that you need sometime 3-4 months of training camp where it's every day, is sweat and bleed, these guys, for one night. You know what I mean? So it deserves all what he get, And I believe that that Morel will get the right number, not to work for somebody else or go after his career, go to a gym. You know what I mean? He will make a good purse. And this is what I want, because I like him too. I mean, every time I see him, I don't go to him, I hug him. He's come to me because he's very respectable. And I believe that I earn my respect to the fighters. I never say anything negative because it's uncalled. Other promoters talk, big mouth, but I'm not this kind of guy. I have the respect. And thanks to him, I have a good living, thanks to all these fighters.
Yeah. And that's a great point that you brought up with how that Benavidez Plant fight ended developed, because like you said at first, Benavidez didn't necessarily have as many fights when Plant had the initial interest. So once Benavidez built his record up, became a world champion, was able to gain popularity. Now when the Plant fight basically happened, it was on pay-per-view, and they got the max money off of that particular fight. So you will want to do that same thing there eventually with David Morrell Jr. But you also still have some great potential fights out there in 175 for David Benavidez. We got to see what's up with the Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev fight. See if it comes off there on October 12th, and maybe pursue the winner of that as well as a potential. Benavidez.
Well, in that case, I can tell you that we have the option of the mandatory, so the winner you need to face. But I cannot wait till January or February or March that it can be the fight. So Benavidez, he will fight in December. That is guaranteed. December is fight, and then we can look for February, March, or depending what happened with Canelo, he will get Cinco de Mayo, and that is a fight that we take over with Benavidez. You know, Canelo will pass the torch to Benavidez to get that date. Because I believe that after Berlanga, you have nobody else.
Yeah.
What do you want? Charlo again? What do you with who he would fight? Against another mandatory with the Canadian guy, Mibille, that nobody knows. If this guy he walk in the MGM and nobody recognizes him, so how you can sell pay-per-view with that? You know, and Canelo is a smart man. He took Berlanga not because the Puerto Rican he will like you know, people say it's not Berlanga, it's not Puerto Rican, it's a New Yorker. So this is what he need, the pay-per-view. Not need Puerto Rican because there's no more Tito Trinidad.
Yeah.
There's no more
Miguel Cotto.
Cotto.
Yeah.
And that's it. You cannot go, you know, much further to anyone. That it was a great fighters, you know, in Puerto Rico, but never has itself level that to buy pay-per-view.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, after this, like you said, I really don't see that many other options left out there for Canelo Alvarez to, you know, face any fighters that, you know, people will be interested in. So you got sooner or later he's gonna have to see David Benavidez there.
No, I believe that after this, I will not be surprised if he retire, or he will fight some kind of YouTuber or something like that. Who knows?
Man, I don't know, man. Like maybe retirement or man, I don't know if he'll fight a YouTuber, man. I hope he don't fight no Jake Paul or nothing like that, man.
Well, it can happen. It could happen.
Oh man, but yeah, we'll see how it goes on with that. I know that you've had a number of fighters be busy. One fighter that I've had a focus on is Nicklaus Flaz. There, he's been on Pro Box TV. I was in attendance at the fight card on March 13th in Plant City, where he scored a stoppage victory there, and he's moved on and had other victories as well after that. So he's definitely climbing up the ranks there in his division. What are your thoughts on Nicklaus Flaz and what he's been doing so far?
Well, it's now he's working on the next fight, which should be announced shortly, and we're looking for a good challenger for him because he deserves it. He's 27 years old. He's in the prime, so he can fight anyone. And I'm very proud the way he worked his last 3-4 fights. That he was always the underdog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most definitely. He came in there as an underdog in that particular fight that I was at there on March 13th, and he was able to score the stoppage victory there. And like I said, I mean, he's kind of like moved up in the rankings there, from that particular point. So definitely want to see more from him real soon there. So you have that.
Listen, I'm sorry, I need to work very hard because I want to be a not Tito Trinidad because he's my friend, but I want to be somebody that they built the boxing again in Puerto Rico. In this moment, I don't see beside the minimum weight that they have a champion, the only champion from Puerto Rico. But beside that, I don't believe we have anybody that it make excitement for Puerto Rico. So maybe Flatty will do it.
Yeah, yeah, we gotta have. I guess we may have to have someone that take over because we just lost Super Matias there. He was a world champion, but he lost Liam Farrell there over in Puerto Rico. So yeah, we might need a new representative for Puerto Rico there, and Nicklaus Flaz could take that spot. I think you may also have another fighter there under Pro Box TV coming up. It should be Jeison Rosario there has his fight against Hurd. And when I saw that matchup, I was like, oh man, that's gonna be a great one. And I was like, Plant City, I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I'll be able to make that. I was like, oh man, that would be a fight that I want to see live, like be right there for it. But I won't be.
Hopefully, you'll be there. Pro Box start to be big, very big, worldwide. I believe they help a lot to build in the past year a brand name that everybody is aware that Pro Box TV is step on the best of the boxing, because he put real fights. Sometimes you have a pay-per-view that is not a real fight, because before you see it, already you know who win. With Pro Box TV, you don't know who can win, but I'm very happy and congratulate Gary Jones for a great job that he's doing.
Yeah, he's had that thing going there on Pro Box TV for a few years now. Just recently started to branch out as far as like having Pro Box events outside of Plant City. Had an event over in Washington D.C. Featuring Lamont Rhodes Jr. there. I was able to attend that was a very good event and had good fights on that card. But this one coming up here in a couple of weeks, that's going to be a packed card as well there in Plant City. So I'm gonna be like, man, I gotta be able to watch that live. Gotta be able to watch that live. Now, wanted to go into a couple of news and notes as far as like recent signees there on Sampson Boxing. Could you expound on that here?
Well, I have a Brian Acosta from Mexico that is 20-0. I just signed it. Then I have Luis El Coreano Torres from Mexico, a great fighter that I say I have I have about 30 fighters, so I expect to have in the next couple of years get to the 40 champions. I have 36 in this moment, so I need 4. So probably by in a couple of years, I believe I can have a 40 champions, get my goal. Actually, I want 50, but with 40, I'd be very happy. I'm getting old, But I manage or work or promote 40 world champions.
Yeah, that's
including Manny Pacquiao. When I discovered Manny Pacquiao, the only thing is I did all the homework to bring it to the next level. But I used to be a matchmaker in that time. So I worked for the promoter. After I get him, I said, well, now it's time to create my own stable and my own champions. And I walked away from the promotion and I did my own.
Yeah, that's the thing there. Going from the transition of being a matchmaker to promoter, but you've already had that research into the business. You've seen these fighters. You've seen how they developed and things like that, and then you say, you know what? Now I'm going to invest into promoting fighters and putting up events there, and kind of like building that brand. So there years ago, that's when Sampson Boxing, pretty much like was born, is like scouting those fighters, being part of that matchmaking, and seeing how things work within the sport of boxing. And as you've mentioned to me multiple times, having those relationships, whether it's with fighters, managers, other promoters, to be able to, stay, within business and have those relationships, good relationships up to this day.
Well, when I got Manny Pacquiao, top rank, bottom, in that time, Dunking, he didn't want Manny Pacquiao. It's another Filipino. But I said to Murad Muhammad, that he was my promoter, he said the reason the Filipinos is coming to America and he lose because the differential of the time, the food, and that it be good enough to lose a fight. So Manny Pacquiao stayed in the States, in California, for 3 months before that fight. And that is the key. So now everybody, all Filipinos is coming to America, most of them with Sean Gibbons, but it's coming to America to train. And now it's different fighters. And that I take the credit. You know, the Penalosas, when he used to come, he used to lose, he used to win, but nobody do a camp in America. Now all the Filipinos, or the majority, you do a camp in America and win and champions. So I mean, that I believe that I given a lot of blood, new blood to boxing. With Maravilla Martinez, the same thing. Bob Aron, he didn't like it, even though he given a fight, an elimination bout for the WBC, and he didn't like it. By that time, anyone, Golden Boy, he didn't like it. Dan King didn't like it. Ludi Vela, I told him, please take this one. And he took it, and we come out with a great champion, with Ludi Vela. And finally, David Benavidez. So it's mean David Benavidez, no Bavaro, no Golden Boy, no Dan King, no Ludi Vela. Nobody wanted Benavidez. I took him because I know that he will be a great champion. Not a champion, a great champion. So that is the differential between me and the other promoters. Besides Dan King, I learned in the street. So I have that mentality, a street boy. And, well, Dan King, he learned in jail. But all the rest is all guys that, like Bob, like Lou, that they went and studied in Harvard University. You know what I mean? So it's different because I started to build my name selling gloves, and then to be a manager, and then to be a matchmaker. I can build today a ring. How many promoters you can say that you can build a ring before the fight? I do that if I need to. On the last showbox that it was last year, it was the last showbox ever. So everybody wanted to take a picture. He went to the ring and he broke down 2 hours before the televised. Everybody went crazy. Many, he was crying, the lady that he have this great idea to meet 36 people in top of the ring. I didn't panic. I know what to do. And by the 2 hours, I tell him exactly what to do, how to cut the iron and all that. And on time, that show will come up. Perfect. But you don't learn that in university.
Right.
You learn step by step. So that's what I have, that the last showbox with Showtime, I saved it. And my people who helped me to save, because I was with a suit, I would not cut, but I have the knowledge.
Right.
Because when I walk in and I saw broken, I saw one of the guys put it, try to belt, bring the up the floor. I tell him, are you crazy? That is, it cannot happen. This is iron. You cannot do that. So you need to cut and put, towers, and then you can do it. You don't need to disarm everything. You can do it from inside. So that knowledge is nobody can take away from me. And that is the reason that till today, I'm the matchmaker of my promotional company.
Yeah, and like you said, you basically came up through, like, boxing. I know that there's been a term of boxing is my life, Well, I mean, with you, it definitely has. I mean, like you said, you've been working with gloves and like you said, building stuff. You were able to build the ring, construct the ring from scratch, become a matchmaker. So you've been a part of just about every single thing of what it takes in order for a fight to come together, or a fight card to come together. And it's different than having that background of being in law school, like a number of the promoters or notable promoters, that people know, at least in America, that they just had it to where they started at a certain point in their life where it was just like, okay, they come in the game as a promoter, but not as, like matchmaker, glove, being able to make gloves, construct a ring, all that type of stuff that you were able to do. So, like you said, you're one of those rare people in the sport of boxing that knows everything, pretty much like everything of how the sport works. So that's
Well, the day
very,
that I know, the day that I say that I know everything, I be so I be a dumb, stupid man because you learn every day. But I really believe that thanks to Dan King and Bob Arum, we enjoy boxing today. Without these two celebrities, I will never be in my position. So I have the most respect for both of them, regardless the background. But
yeah.
Dan is special for me because in front to everyone, when he see me, he say, "Hey, Samson, viva Samson," and he hug me. So I have that touch. Like even Murad Muhammad, it was so good for me, but he did wrong for boxing anyway, and I need to walk away when something is wrong.
Mhm.
But this guy, Murad Muhammad, he was, my guy. When the doctor told me that I have a cancer, and it was very aggressive, but almost 2.5 years ago, the first thing I say to my wife, I need to get in touch with Murad Muhammad because I don't want to die before I say thank you for the opportunity that they gave me to be in his company and create Pacquiao, and I saw him. I have a lunch with him because it was very aggressive cancer, but I went to Houston to the best hospital, and I'm cancer free. I'm a survivor of cancer. It took me 2 years, but the whole, COVID situation, it was about 2 years. 2 years I was back and forth from the hospital, but now I'm free. So God, He gave me another chance to help other fighters. Give me a chance to enjoy what I do. And many people doesn't know that I have tournaments in South America and Uruguay with over 800 amateur fighters.
Mm.
And I do every week. I do not myself, but I have people that do for me. Fights, you can follow up in BoxRec, Uruguay, and you go to amateur and you see how many fights I did in Uruguay almost every week. So I give something what boxing give it to me, I give it to the youngsters. I took people out of drugs. I took people out of jail in my country. And, I feel good doing that. But people doesn't know. But if you go to BoxRec, Uruguay, that is where I born, you go to amateur and you will see how many fights under my banner and how many opportunities, because the winner of every year, you go to Mexico, 6 of them, and I pay. I'm the only sponsor. And then Mauricio Suleiman is taken in Mexico and stay for a month and a half and training all this kid. And now I have from that 2 professional. One is 21-1, and the other one is 14-0. Mm. From that particular tournament. So I'm happy. God gave me, another opportunity to continue bring the best of what I love to, which is boxing.
Yeah, and very thankful that you were able to get through that battle with cancer. You're completely cancer free, and like you said there, with your story is you continue to contribute to the sport of boxing, and having that tournament there in Uruguay, pretty much like you said, almost every week, just being able to reach out to the young fighters that will be there in Uruguay that could eventually develop to being professional fighters there. So, but like you said, it's been many, many years that you've contributed to the sport, and you continue to contribute to the sport, and we're very thankful for that. So, definitely for more there from you here in the future.
And on top of that, on September 27, I'm inducted on the Hall of Fame of Atlantic City. That it was where I did all these fights with Murad Muhammad every month. In Bali Park Hotel, we used to do the best fights. We used to call them refights. So now I have the honor to be next to Sergio Maravilla Martinez in the Hall of Fame of Atlantic City. And I hope so I see you there too. I believe that they deserve it, is something that I expect to be one day in the Hall of Fame. Now I'll be in September.
Gotcha. So we'll mark that down September 27th, Atlantic City Hall of Fame. We'll have the new inductee there, Sampson Lewkowicz of course, Sampson Boxing. But very thankful for you to take the time here with us at the Boxing Source. We'll definitely catch up with you with more news and notes there within your promotional company. And, we'll see what happens here first with Gabriela Fundora in action on the Golden Boy card here on Saturday night.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you.